Good morning, Agent. Hope you've settled in all right. Sorry about the mess, but your predecessor left in a bit of a hurry, and we couldn't leave this post unmanned. Now then, you're being thrown right into the middle of an operation. Take a good look outside, specifically the building across the street. See the woman on the top floor? Her name's Norma. Norma's got a briefcase she'll be handing over to us, so you're gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna fax over the details on the situation. The fax machine should be on your desk. Press the left button to receive incoming messages. I'll be in touch.
A-M-O.
Less than 3% of the population were...
The story you were about...
It's me again. Got the facts, right? Make sure you keep that stuff organized. You can pin the papers to the blackboard if you want. Now, the gist of it is, Norma spills the beans on the commies in the building. We give her immunity in return. Or at least, we'll think about it. Norma hasn't been a very good patriot lately. What you'll be doing is creating a record of Norma dropping off the briefcase we want, just in case something goes wrong. Give it a test. Norma should be in the parking lot with the briefcase right about now. So take a picture of her. The camera should be on the desk, next to the fax machine. To use it, press the red button, or the button near your thumb. Once you've got a good picture, send it over using the right button on the fax.
What are your dreams for 10 years from now? Perhaps you'd like to travel abroad. In 10 years, comfortable tourist accommodations will certainly be available. This also applies if your travel plans are along the lines of see America first. You're wondering how you can be sure of having the money at that time, buy savings bonds. Perhaps you haven't been considering travel. Well, if you've been counting on future leisure time or a college education for your children, a farm or business of your own, a retirement income or a home of your own, the solution is still the same. Buy savings bonds. Purchase them the easy, automatic way, where you work through the payroll savings plan, where you bank through the bond-a-month plan. Savings bonds are profitable.
C-O, Amoco, American Oil Company. Maker of famous... This was written by...
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet. Dragnet, the documented drama
Hello
of an
again.
actual
I
crime,
got your picture.
investigated and
Looks like
solved
you've
by
got
the
the
men
hang of
who
it. So here's the
unrelentingly
plan.
stand watch on
Norma's
the
gonna
security of your
dead
home,
drop
your
the briefcase
family,
in the
and your
parking
life.
lot. We'll be picking
For
it
the
up
next
10
30
minutes later
in
so we don't
cooperation
raise
with
any
the Los Angeles
suspicion.
Police Department,
You'll be
you will
monitoring
travel
proceedings.
step by step on the
Keep
side
your
of the
eyes
law
locked
through an
tight on that
actual case from
briefcase.
official police
If anything
files.
out of the ordinary
From
happens,
beginning to
I want
end.
you and your
From
camera to
crime
be
to
all over it.
punishment. This is the story of your police force in action. Dragnet.
It's me. I've got another agent nearby. According to them, someone's heading into the parking lot, and they're not with us. Keep an eye out. Make sure they're not getting near that briefcase. What the hell just happened? Wait. Take pictures and fax me everything. Damn it!
The boss is Ed Backstrand, chief of detectives. I was on the way back from the record bureau, and it was 13 minutes past 11 when I got to room 42. Homicide.
That's a hot shot. Somebody grab it.
I got it, Ed.
At 1245 East Doheny Street,
1, 2, 4,
2
5.
officers shot. At 1245 East Doheny Street,
Doheny Street.
2 officers.
Shot.
What have you got, Friday?
Read it.
2 officers shot. Where's Romero?
Right here, Skipper.
Okay, you've got one to roll on. Get going.
Both Ben and I knew where we were heading. We'd recognized the address. It was the Trapdoor Cafe, a joint in the south end of town that did business with a pretty rough crowd. 13 minutes later, we pulled up in front. 2 patrolmen had the crowd pretty well pushed back. There was a cruiser car in front of the cafe. The car door was open, and an officer was sprawled across the seat. He was conscious but weak, and one of his pant legs was pretty red.
Hello, Sarge.
Hi, how you doing?
I've done better.
Yeah, well, what happened?
Williams and I were cruising. They've been keeping an eye on this cafe lately. Tonight we decided to take a look. And just as we went in, 2 guys left in a hurry. The back door. We followed them out into the alley. It was dark out there, and I called to them. I said, "Hey, fellas, just a minute, I want to talk to you."
They stopped?
I'll see. One of them whirled. He had a gun in his left hand. He shot both of us.
Left hand, huh?
Williams went down and out. I went down, but I took a shot at them. No effect. And I started crawling out here to the car so I could call in.
You started crawling?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Emerson. Weren't there any people around by that time?
Yeah, quite a few ran out after the shots.
You mean nobody would help you to the car?
That's right.
Did you get a good look at either of the gunmen?
Well, one of them was tall. I think he was a redhead. There was something funny about his nose. That's all I saw. It's too dark out there. Williams was closer. I think he got a good look.
No, the other officer, Williams. He's in pretty bad shape.
Is he breathing?
He's still alive, Emerson. I don't know how much time he's got.
Ambulance?
On the way.
Okay, let's round up all the men who are in the cafe. We're taking them in. We took all the men back to the city hall. There were 23 in the Trapdoor Cafe at the time of the shooting. We questioned all of them. One of them said there had been a redhead in the place, but he couldn't describe him. Ben and I left the interrogation room, and we went back to the squad room.
Friday, Romero. Got a minute?
Yeah, Ed. Come on, Ben.
Sit down.
Let's see here.
You got
This is a
anything from
picture
those
of the
people you
guy
talked
in the
to?
parking lot,
Nothing
isn't
with
it?
You.
How's Williams?
It's likely he ran off with the
As
briefcase.
soon as he comes out of
Good
shot.
job.
Probably in
This
the morning.
picture will help
Your
us
boys will be
identify
there.
him.
Yeah, we will.
Looks like he caught the briefcase thief in the act. Nice shot. Now we
Here
just
for
need to
them
find
two
out
men
who this
shot
guy
without
is.
asking any questions. They must be
But
hot.
what about the
Yeah.
gunshot?
Same thing occurred
Can you
to
see
me.
When
anything?
we get that slug, the ballistics can tell us whether that gun's been used on other jobs.
We got enough of their modus operandi to have the statistician give us a run-through on the IBM now.
One of them is left-handed, and he shoots quick.
Okay, be in surgery tomorrow morning at 9.
Neither Ben or I said much on the way home, but we were both thinking the same thing. I knew the chief was thinking it too. Here were 2 men who'd shot a couple of police officers without asking any questions. Now, I suppose you've heard a lot of stories about what the force thinks of cop killers. Sure, we don't like to lose our friends and partners any better than anybody else would. Why not figure it this way? If these 2 guys would gun a couple of armed police officers, do you think they'd hesitate to shoot you, the unarmed citizen? The next morning at 9 o'clock, Ben and I had scrubbed up and we were in surgery. Williams was on the table. The surgeon started in. A lot of minutes later, he got the slug. As for Williams, they took out 7 feet of his intestine and said he might pull through.
Joe, here's the report from ballistics. The slug they took out of Williams come from a .44 Smith & Wesson. The same gun was
Good
used in
job
the liquor
getting a
store
clear
killing about
picture of the
month ago.
crime scene.
You call the statistician?
Damn.
Yeah, She's
Doesn't
running
look
all
like
the
we'll be
cards
getting
on
any more
previous shooting
information
through the
out of
IBM
Norma.
machine.
Anyway,
We'll be through about now.
we'll
Take
go
a
over
look.
the picture
Okay.
and see what we can figure out. Right. I think we've got what we need. Damn.
Hi, Helen.
What a disaster.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the team at any rate. Kick back for now. I'll let you know when we've got your next assignment.
Sergeant Review, all the shootings told by 2 men on foot who shot quick, one of them left-handed.
Right.
They're all yours.
You sure can tell a lot from just a bunch of little holes in these cars, can't you?
I can't, but this IBM machine can.
It never ceases to amaze me.
Okay, shall we check the cards, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Wait a minute, Ben. Here we are.
Huh?
Yeah. Here's that liquor store killing ballistics tied the Smith & Wesson in on.
Same gun that Emerson Williams was shot with?
Checks out. The liquor store was in the same neighborhood as the Trapdoor
Hello
Cafe.
again,
Same
Agent.
gun, huh?
Gotcha.
After that
How long
fiasco
ago?
from
A
the other
month
day,
ago, yeah.
I've got
Ben,
some
take
good
the DI
news.
number off this card and let's pull
One
the
of our
crime report on
agents
that
has
job.
successfully infiltrated a building and is posing as a communist. Of course, you need to know who it is
We
too.
pulled the crime report out
Take
of
a
the
look at the
file.
case
Says there
file
was
on your
only one
desk.
witness to that
Your
liquor store
predecessor
killing a
put
month
it together
ago.
with all the info
That
she
witness
gathered
was
on the
a woman.
building's inhabitants. but recent events have made it a little
Sorry to disturb you
outdated.
like this, but we'd
Compare
like
the
to
notes
ask
to
some
the people you
questions
can see
about that
now,
liquor store
figure out
killing
who
you
doesn't
with a
belong,
month
and
ago.
you've got our undercover
I
agent.
told the police everything
Consider
I knew
this a
about
bit
his
of a
family.
test
Yeah,
for
we
you.
know, but maybe you
Once
wouldn't
you've
mind
figured
telling
out
us
who it
again.
is, snap a picture of them and
Yes,
send it over to me.
I
I'll send you
I've
the
been trying to
assignment by
forget it,
fax
to
as
tell the
well.
truth.
Good luck.
It's terrible. I really didn't see so very much because I was awful scared.
I understand. But try to describe again just what happened, will you?
Well, it was about 10 o'clock at night. I was walking down the street toward home when I realized I was all out of cigarettes. Well, I was right in front of the liquor store then, so I went in. The clerk was behind the counter, and there were two men standing there arguing.
What's the idea of changing your mind? I thought we was gonna get bourbon.
No, let's get the wine.
I want bourbon.
Costs too much. Wine's good enough.
The rest of them want bourbon, too. We better talk to them.
Well, okay. We'll be back when we make up our mind, mister.
Two men walked out of the store, and the clerk smiled at me and shrugged his shoulders. I bought a pack of cigarettes and turned to leave. But just then, the two men came back in again, and each of them had a gun in his hand.
There's a stick up, mister.
The clerk just sort of crumpled to the floor. Couldn't believe my eyes, but that's just how it happened. The men said this was a stick-up, and then they shot him right away.
Get over against the wall, lady, or you'll get the same.
One of them punched the no sale on the cash register. I was shaking so I almost caved in. He scooped the money out of the drawer and stuffed it into his pocket. And then the other one went over to where the liquor clerk was lying face down. He knelt down beside the clerk and put his gun against the clerk's spine. Then they both ran out of the store. It was terrible. That clerk, he was lying there helpless and wounded, and they deliberately...
Yeah, Miss Forbes, I understand.
Oh, Miss Forbes, you said that both of the men had guns.
Yes. One of the guns was black, and the other was sort of fancy looking.
What do you mean, Miss Forbes?
Well, it was real shiny.
Nickel plated?
I didn't know about that, but it was shiny.
There were two guns, huh?
Yes.
Well, now about the men themselves.
Nice
I was so
job.
scared their
Looks
faces
like
just didn't register with me. The one who...
it's me.
one who
I'm gonna
shot
have to
the
ask you
best
not to
I
hang up
can
while I'm
do.
talking. Anyway,
The best I can do.
nice job.
You mentioned in
Looks
the
like you
report
found
that
our
one of the
inside
men was
woman,
left-handed.
Carla.
Yes,
She's
I
already
do
given us a
remember
lot
that.
of intel in a short amount of time she's
Look,
been
Miss
in there.
Forbes,
This evening,
this is very
Carla will be
important
meeting
to
with a
us.
couple of Reds.
One
I'll
of the
give you
men
the
was a
details
redhead?
later.
Redhead.
Oh, before I go,
Why, no,
make
I
sure
didn't
you
see
keep a
any
record
redhead.
of every clue you collect on each of our suspects. You define them as good patriots, commie sympathizers, informants, and of course the
Skipper, me
spy.
and Joe's run
Do the
right
same
smack
should
into a
give you a
stone
good
wall
overview
on
of the
this
case.
thing.
What's the
Take a rest for
complication?
now.
Well, there's more
if
than
you feel
one,
like
Ed.
time's going by a
In the
little
first
too
place, we know
slowly,
that the
take
44
a
Smith
good
& Wesson
close
was
look
used
at
in
the
both
clock.
shootings. But the
There's a way to
descriptions
kill
of the men
time.
involved don't check.
Police officer Emerson said he thought the man that shot him and Williams outside the Trapdoor Cafe was a tall, left-handed redhead. Said there's something funny about his nose.
You think Williams got a better look at him?
Probably did, but Williams isn't strong enough to talk yet.
And a girl that witnessed the liquor store killing a month ago said that one of those men was left-handed. But she said neither of them was a redhead.
And on top of all that, now we've got two guns to worry about. The girl mentioned two guns, so we checked the autopsy report on that liquor clerk. And Ed, the bullet that actually killed him came from a .32-20, not a .44 Smith & Wesson.
That fact didn't get any publicity at the time, did it?
No, it didn't.
Okay. We won't give it any publicity now either. We'll allow down it's just the .44 Smith & Wesson we're after. Because if whoever owns the .32-20 finds out it's hot, we'll never get it. Anything else?
Well, we sent teletypes to all outlying stations in neighboring cities. Told them if they get any red-headed suspects, no matter what charge they got them on, to hold them for questioning.
Yeah. Now, how about this .32-20, the actual murder weapon? Any leads on it?
We've got one, Ed. We've been checking the records, and we discovered that 4 hours after the liquor store killing, a taxi driver in the neighborhood was shot and robbed.
Slug was pretty well mashed, but there was enough to tell it was from a .32-20. .32-20.
Millions in Europe and Asia are going hungry and facing actual starvation. Therefore, it's up to us, the best-fed nation in the world, to tighten our belts. We can share a meal and save a life.
Hello, Agent. Remember that meeting Carla's organizing? It's happening in the alleyway next to the building. Apparently, it's a popular spot for the Reds. They meet there frequently and make sure to keep anyone who isn't involved out of there. Keep a close look. I'll send over the relevant intel Carla's been able to collect by fax. And keep your eyes glued to that alley and get me pictures of all the people Carla's meeting with. Great job, Agent. You've captured all those red mugs nicely. I'll check in with the higher-ups to see how they want us to proceed. For now, it's a job well done, so kick back. Talk to you soon.
Amoco Products presents Edward R. Murrow with the news. The dictionary says the word detergent means the ability to emulsify oils and hold dirt in suspension. And that's exactly what Amoco's Premium Plus Permalube Motor Oil does. This is the detergent oil that cleans as it lubricates. It keeps dirt, gummy carbon, and engine varnish from sticking to moving parts. Your engine stays cleaner, runs better, lasts longer. Give your engine these advantages with Permalube Motor Oil, the oil that cleans as it lubricates. And now here is Edward R. Murrow.
This is the news. The President has signed a bill extending wage and price controls for another 10 months. All controls, including rent, would have ended at midnight tonight if the President had refused to sign the bill. House Speaker Sam Rayburn, after talking to Mr. Truman, said the President was not happy about the legislation presented to him, but he signed it because it was the only thing he could do. Mr. Truman wanted controls extended for another 2 years. Congress voted only a 10-month extension. The President will have more to say about the measure tomorrow. If all goes well, congressional leaders hope to adjourn on Saturday, on the eve of the Republican convention, which begins next Monday. Senator Taft arrived in Chicago today. He said he is willing to effect a compromise on the 38 contested Texas delegates. But he said to do this, both sides have to be reasonable. Senator Carlson of Kansas, an Eisenhower supporter, said the general is in no mood to compromise. The National Republican Committee will begin hearing arguments on contested seats tomorrow. In addition to the Texas dispute, which will come up last, the committee will hear 34 cases involving 6 states. As of this hour, television cameras and recording equipment will not be permitted in the hearing room, despite the fact that Senator Taft and Senator Lodge, speaking for Eisenhower, have indicated they have no objections. The National Committee Chairman, Guy Gabrielson, says he is now polling committee members on how they feel about this matter. He also announced that General MacArthur's keynote speech is written and has been checked by responsible party leaders. There is no definite decision on whether MacArthur will deliver the speech in uniform. My colleague, Dave Schoenbrunn, telephoned a few minutes ago from Denver. He reports that General Eisenhower will leave for Chicago on Thursday, with speeches scheduled for Lincoln, Nebraska, and Ames, Iowa. He is due to arrive in Chicago at noon on Saturday. In Houston, Texas, the annual Governors Conference is in its first day. Another colleague, Ed Morgan, is covering that meeting. Ed, what's the gossip in Houston?
Well, Ed, like Texas oil, the gossip is coming in gushers. We might try to bottle up a little of the Democratic brand first, though its value as a lubricant can't be guaranteed. Interested governors seem to sense a smooth and powerful sound to a combination of cousins, Stevenson and Russell, as a potential Democratic ticket. Last April 16th, the governor of Illinois issued a 367-word statement saying, in essence, and with manifest sincerity, that he didn't want to run for president and that he was not then a candidate. This morning, Mr. Stevenson issued a similar statement, but it was 166 words shorter, and it skirted the point in a smaller circle. He said he was not being coy or trying to pick up
Listen
an
up.
opponent.
We don't have much time for this one. Carla has been bluffing her way into the communist organization until now, but she's overplayed her hand. We need to identify one of the communist informants and let Carla know who it is, or her cover will be blown. She's gathered a lot of information on one of the informants. Long story short, keep a close eye on the roof and the alley. And, actually, just take a look at what we faxed over. Get a picture of the informant and fax it to us once you're sure about it. We only have one shot at this, so keep your eyes peeled. The day's far from over. If you ask me, you should wait till evening to make sure you've got the... It's me. I'm gonna have to ask you not to hang up while I'm talking. Anyway, listen up. We don't have much time for this one. Carla has been bluffing her way into the car.